I think maybe we, like, as a society, got the wrong idea about business. Like, it has to look a certain way. But if you think about it, so many great ideas start on, like, the bar napkin, right? Like, that's a thing, because good ideas over a drink, just in a communal space, get jotted down on paper, because, like, you're not necessarily planning it out.
Beyond the Brand Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Brand Podcast. I'm your host, Angelo, and today we have two very special guests. It's not often that in this entrepreneurial world that you can be creative and you can be cool, but you can also have the business side situated too. So many businesses end up going under because they're just creative and cool, but they can't figure out, the business side of things. And today, that's why I wanted to bring you guys on, because you guys have figured out both of those things. And now you guys are the host of the Two Valley Girls LLC podcast. You guys are the owners of Monsoon Market, now the owners of Strip Mall coffee shop that's right here too. Today we have Mish and Koral on the podcast. And then I got this. You guys can't hear it, but there's clapping.
Oh, yeah. Right on. What an entrance.
That's where we need the headphones.
That's where we should have had the headphones, yeah.
But how are you guys doing today?
We're good. Yeah, thanks for the intro.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, we were just kind of talking about it before and off air right now. Is like, you guys have so many ideas, so many things you guys want to do. But the main thing is like prioritizing, like what needs to be done. Because I know you guys haven't even shot a podcast in a while, which we need a new episode ASAP. But yeah, talk to me a little bit about, that balance of keeping it cool and creative and doing all these different things, but also like you guys really have to take inventory and, clean up the shop and put up shelves yourself and like all those different things. Talk to me about that.
There's so many things to be done. Some of them are like really critical and essential for like the business. And then there's that other half of things that are just inspiring and fun to work on. And then like our job is to see where those things overlap. I think like where can we meet the cross point of this is rewarding work. And then there's like, this is the work that takes to get there, I think it's tough. You can't just have one or the other. Like you have to be prepared to do the work that makes the fun work.
Yeah. Systems are not sexy, but they're necessary.
I like that, yeah.
They allow for you to then have the room to do the creative projects and have creative freedom. Like if you set yourself up with systems, then you're not spending all your time doing the boring stuff. It's like, I think one of the best lessons I learned in being a business owner was figure out what you like to do and what you don't like to do and delegate the shit you don't want to do so that like you have room to go do the fun stuff.
Yeah. And you don't feel so like bogged down by the little things that you don't like doing.
But don't ignore the little things that are important.
Delegate.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like those little things, like they can add up and like you can let them slide. Like there's so much to be done. Sometimes you just let that little shit like slide, we'll come back to something that we're like, oh my God, we should have done that like 2 years ago. Like it was like a little thing, but we got this far and it didn't like stop us in getting further and making progress in other areas. So like, you can't do it all. Like sometimes the little stuff does fall by the waysides, but it is figuring out like what are those things that are going to get in your way and just make sure you can take those like one at a time,
I feel like you guys, basically your job has become showing people in Arizona and in Phoenix cool stuff. Like that's basically what this market is when I come in here. Is like there's so many cool things, like just random. Like there's like sage cones, I believe, like there's sprays, there's obviously wine, so many different things. Talk about like if someone hasn't been in here, how do you explain what Monsoon Market is?
I like the way you say that. We say it's a place of discovery. There's going to be things in here that you've never discovered in Phoenix. And part of that was us being tired of Phoenix not being treated like a major city and things being brought to us. And with the rise of e-commerce, you can see it online, but there's some missing tactile element there. Like I want to see it. I want to smell that product. And so that was something that, Koral emphasized. As much as we wanted to bring in local goods, things that we couldn't find in Phoenix was a big part of it.
Yeah, I feel like out here, we talk about it all the time on the podcast, but like so many people that live here, move here, all those different things. They're always like, there's no culture out here. There's nothing cool out here. And you guys are really like changing that, you know, like how is there not, look around, like there's so many cool things here. Like, and we were talking before about how a lot of people, including yourselves, were kind of living that life in Phoenix where it's just like the baseline. You go to the corporate places to eat, you go to the corporate places to hang out, and if you're not really in your city and seeing what's going on, you kind of get stuck at that level. Talk about how you guys were there and then wanting to get out of that.
I didn't feel like I was someone who was really stuck until Monsoon Market unlocked like a whole new level for me of Phoenix. It was like I arrived to this new floor in my own city and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where has this been? Like, this is what I think I've been yearning for, and what we were trying to open the door with Monsoon was just a place to take us somewhere new, like somewhere new in Phoenix, you know, to show this different side of what our city could be and our personality. And yeah, it's like you just create that space and you set up your infrastructure, like your world, like you build your own ecosystem around each other, like around who's creating what in your community, who's opening their doors and hosting space, you know, just who is providing like these sources of inspiration, entertainment, and education within your community. And it like changed my experience as like someone who lives in Phoenix. I love this city way more now because I feel like I know it differently than I did before.
Yeah. And you have people that you know are doing different things. Like, you know, somebody that does coffee. Now you guys, you know, someone that has a shop that sells this or sells that, and you don't have to just go to Target and Walmart for everything, you know?
Yeah, like I can't even tell you the last time I went to like a Target or a Walmart. And like, yeah, of course you all need like basic things, but if you really change your habits weekly, the best that you can, it is a privilege to be able to choose like where to spend your money like that. But the more that you do that, I think the more that you're rewarded, and like you feel the difference of spending your money at a locally owned coffee shop than a Starbucks. Like you feel that impact and it trickles and dominoes into other areas of your life.
For sure.
And like habits are really life-changing like that.
No, for sure. And that's where you guys met, right? Is working at Dutch Bros in coffee, right?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. How long were you guys, because you left and did your own coffee first and then you stayed there for a little bit, or how did that work?
Yes, we both worked, you know, at first at separate locations. This was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We were pulling up photos. And then I was running social media for Dutch Phoenix.
Oh, really?
And I was at the time also managing and didn't like managing. So I stepped down and they were like, we're going to move you over to Koral store. And I was like, yes, great. I was like, I could definitely work, you know, having managed under Koral. And so that's what happened. And I worked at her stand for a while and then pulled her into the back one day. Was like, hey, I've been contemplating doing my own business, a coffee truck. And that's why I'm actually going to leave. I didn't want to tell anyone else. She was like, hell yeah, go do it. Wow. So I left first and then shortly after.
Yeah. I had realized that like being a franchise owner or like being even a higher leader within a company like that was just not, once I put myself there, I'm like, if that's what I'm working towards after like 6 years of working there, then maybe this is my time maybe to go do something different. Cause I don't think I want to be like a franchisee of like a Dutch Bros coffee shop, you know, like I think I want to try something different. And so I found like my corporate job with Tuft and Needle, and that really took me back into like the retail world and brick and mortar store experience and like, you know, kind of very still customer centric space, but like a different environment. So yeah, it was just kind of fun for us both to go and do something different. And like neither of us, I think, ever thought we would loop back around in the way that we did, which is crazy.
I know. I think it's so cool, your guys' story of like, you know, how Monsoon Market came to be is like, when you had an idea and you're like, let's just go out and get a drink and talk about it, like, and see if this is like something that can be real. And I think that's so dope because I feel like when people want to do businesses, they take it so serious. And that's what I love about you guys. I was telling Manny after I met you guys, I'm like, the way you guys do everything and make everything look, you would think you guys have like a corporate backing behind you. And because when you meet you guys are just so cool and like normal, you know,
Yeah.
but your business is amazing. So it's kind of like, it's interesting seeing that on both sides from both of you guys. So talk about when you guys first actually sat down and were like, okay, let's make a plan, or because you're the planner, right?
I am more the planner. Yes. Yeah.
So how did that work?
Well, I think maybe we, like, as a society, got the wrong idea about business. Like, it has to look a certain way. But if you think about it, so many great ideas start on like the bar napkin, right? Like that's a thing, because good ideas over a drink, you know, just in a communal space, get jotted down on paper, because like you're not necessarily planning it out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how this started. It was super organic. It was, let's, you know, grab a beer and just talk about it, because even if we're just going to like unicorn brainstorm about what could happen, that's fun to us.
That's what I was going to say. That's what's really cool about your relationship, is that you guys are both down to do that. Because, you know, like some people would be like, if we're not going to do this, like, why would we even dream of it, you know? But you guys are both like, let's just dream. Like, why not?
I think we both like to play with fire, right? You know, or like there was never a question of like, what if we talk about something we're not going to do? Me and Michela don't talk about things we're not going to do. You know, we might explore ideas that don't feel authentic to us, so they don't happen.
Yeah.
But when we're talking, we're actively making decisions, and it's like
Manifesting.
No, true. Like it's crazy, because we work on this level that like I do find possible with other people, but it's really hard to explain. Like we do not waste time. We do not waste time on things that like are not going to serve us and are not like lining up with who we authentically are. It's like we're getting to the bottom of it every time we're together. And it's not just about business. It's like about being who we truly are and feeling like happy with how we're living our lives.
I heard something recently is like no paralysis by analysis, meaning like you don't let thinking about it too much, looking things up, get in that way. If you guys are flowing and you guys got ideas going, you just keep it rolling.
Yeah. That's why people are always surprised at how much we do. It's like, you know, it's possible. You just have to not let that decision stop you over and over again. Make decisions really quickly. And some of the things are, you know, failures or whatever, but you move on quicker and you learn faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we like, there are decisions that we make quickly, you know, like when we were opening the coffee shop, you know, we're fast, right? We're like, all right, we're thrifting everything. We're Facebook Marketplace, this and that, fridge, $400, fridge, $800, you know, like these things that we'll buy. We'll be like, all right, you know, we're making these decisions to get what we need to open. And then, you know what, year later, like it's busted and we've got to, now we're like, we have to spend a little bit more money now on these things. And, you know, in a little bit, we're like, oh, we could beat ourselves up for being like, maybe we should have thought more about it and like spent the money up front or figured it out. But I don't know. I just feel like that's an example of us like making the decisions. It worked for then sometimes we loop back around and it's like, okay, we're going to make the decision again and just like figure it out. And do
you
what
guys
we
are
need to
constantly learning something. Like you guys are always going to learn something. You don't really take it like just a loss, you know, you're like, oh, now we know next time we do this or this, and maybe that won't happen next time. You know, I think that's important in business, because you're never going to get everything right. It's like impossible. If you think you're going to get everything right, you're going to be like really sad, like all the time. But yeah, so you guys, was it just a couple meetings that you guys had when it became like a thing, or?
Yeah, it was just like maybe like less than 2 months, I feel like, of us just meeting up.
Yeah, probably like 8 meetings or so. It was every Monday for a couple months. It started one Monday and then we're like, should we meet next Monday? And we're like, yeah. And then it happened a few more times. Yeah. And then we're like, well, we basically have a business plan. Like if we sit down and kind of write this out, everything we've talked about, we're ready. Like, do we want to do something with it? And that was the big question. Yeah,
because I know originally the idea of it was to be like a drive up, right? Like
originally, like Michela's a really big like problem solver. I think like from Michela's perspective, when we first started talking, she was like, Phoenix, she's paying attention to Phoenix and with what Phoenix wants. And she was really involved in the farmers market community. Yes. Right. And like post pandemic. And it's like, we don't have access to these like local items, and like there's an interest in the community and showing up to these farmers markets and supporting these like locally ran businesses, especially food businesses. And that was kind of the original inspiration behind like this market idea that she had, and in a drive-through spot.
Yeah, it was coupled with noticing an old Dutch Bros on Camelback and Central that has the drive-through.
Gotcha.
And always wondering, like, what could that turn into? Because it's just a vacant space. And activating old vacant spaces in Phoenix is also something we both care about.
Yeah.
So I kind of put the two together and then thought about, because of Dutch Bros too, I'm like, I want to talk to Koral about this. And so we originally talked about it. And then months later, ended up having that first beer.
Well, speaking of first beer, let's go ahead and what do we have here?
I was thinking about this. Like, we should really be having some wine with this. Like,
let me know what we have here.
Yeah, so we wanted to open something like light and easy. This is a wine from Wavy. They're a California winemaker. And there we go. No mess. Yeah. This is what you call a paquette, which is like a low ABV wine that's made from like grape pomace, which is like skin, seeds, all of like the leftover of the grape. They rehydrate it with like water, and essentially it's like a lower alcohol content. And it's just kind of this real fruity. This one in particular is like a blend of red and white grapes. So it's a little berry, it's a little tropical, it's a little citrus.
You are the best salesperson in the world. Like, what the heck? You just wrote that down crazy.
I got it. Super long arms. Thank you.
Wow. Yes, let's cheers.
Cheers.
Let's try this. And so this is Wavy, right?
Yeah, Wavy. This is the wine cooler.
This is like a pool wine.
That's good. I don't really like wine, but this is good.
Does this even taste like wine?
No, I was going to say, like, because my wife likes red wine, so we'll eat it, or she'll get it when we're eating like dinner.
Yeah.
And then it's sitting right there, so I'm always like, let me try it, and then it ruins my meal because I'm like, it tastes so strong to me, and like I don't like it. But yeah, this is completely the opposite. This is good.
Like, wine is like a huge spectrum, and I think that's why we've had so much fun with Monsoon Market accidentally becoming a bottle shop. Is like we kind of stumbled our way into wine and then found ourselves at the doorstep of natural wine and just were like, we need to explore this.
Where did this like knowledge come from that you have when you're speaking about these wines? It's like it's like you've been selling wine your whole life or something.
Something was awoken in me.
Yeah, she talks about it so passionately.
I know. She's really good at learning something once and then immediately sounding like an expert at it.
You know what?
Since day one with wine.
I was going to ask if that's what it was. Because I do that with like podcasts. You'll hear a podcast and they'll talk about something. Now you're like, oh, I know everything about it.
And she does. But it's been 4 years now too. So, I mean, there is like a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. I think it's fun when you get to make something personal to you. And I think that wine is easily very personal to people. Like, it was easy for me to just fall in love with it because it's connected to stories and places and history and like, and it can be like a really no rules kind of like kind of fun, I don't know, like a renegade type thing, but it could also be very like proper and fine and regarded. And it's just this like really dynamic thing. And I think I have a lot of fun just making it my own and having like a personal style of wine. And Monsoon Market, like I didn't know anything about wine. And then you open a shop that accidentally becomes a bottle shop. And I'm like, oh, it's my job now to buy wine, Wow. And so like I have to be buying good shit because we're going to put our name on it and we're going to drink it.
That's very true.
So you just learn about something when you are forced to kind of interact with it. I chose to,
Did you just like come along for the ride, or did you love wine as well?
I was a casual wine drinker.
Okay.
I was we're both in coffee, and then I was in craft beer for a while. So I really knew that beer industry, but I didn't know wine either. And so once we started buying for the market, Koral was really interested in the wine, and we just split duties, and I had beer, she had wine, and that grew so much that she was forced to learn it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really just responding with like what people were liking. Like we thought we were going to have a couple bottles of wine. Like truly, we were like, we'll just have it so that when people stop in, they get flowers, they get a bottle of wine, like
just a random purchase. Yeah, not an everyday thing. Yeah,
after work stop. And then people would like buy all the wine. They're like, okay, well, what's next? And I'm like, we need more. And I started listening, like people want, they like rosés, or, you know, they really want like a Gruner, and, you know, just listening.
What would you
what they
guys say
want.
is like your biggest selling item in here? Or does it constantly change? Or like, what is it? The wine? Is it drinks, snacks?
It kind of sometimes rotates. Wine is definitely a top category.
Okay.
And I think it shares the cake with like retail recently.
Okay.
We've become a bit more of like a gift shop.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah.
Just no merch besides that stuff. You need some merch.
We've got little merch.
I know you guys need merch. That wall needs to have merch.
I know,
on it.
I
You guys
know.
would kill
a
it.
winter line coming out, maybe.
Yeah,
Ooh,
honestly,
hoodies?
you're on something. We've been listening to the
I
people.
know. What
Yeah.
would you want?
I think a hoodie would be so like a
Yeah.
cozy hoodie.
Oh, a cozy.
Oh,
Big hoodie?
man.
All right.
That would go crazy. Yes.
We definitely want to put some
Right.
merch out. Yeah, it's been enough time. We're ready for a new one, we think.
Yeah, I think so. And then as far as Monsoon Market, we're going to skip ahead a little bit. You guys had the idea. You guys got everything set up. Once you guys got everything done in here, I know you've talked about it before. It was kind of bare in here when you look at like old pictures. But talk to me about the opening night. Like, how did that feel? What happened? Was it good? Was it bad?
Opening a Monsoon.
Yes.
Which store are we
I
gonna
know,
tell?
the soft opening.
Yeah.
The first night we opened the doors,
Yeah.
which technically we were like not permitted for.
Yeah.
Oh my
We
God.
were waiting for our certificate of occupancy, and everything else was ready to go.
Okay.
So it's just this piece of paper, which is so dumb.
Yeah.
We're like, Coral's like, Wings is having this awesome show on the patio with, was it Glixen?
Yeah.
And she's like, we got to open, like, just have some snacks, you know, for the people, like a little, like beverages and whatever,
Yeah.
like a snack bar, not even a full store. We're like, yeah, okay.
Because there's already going to be people there.
Right. I was like, there's
Can't
going to be
miss
like
it.
100 kids next door. Like, how can we not open? Like, we
True.
have to do it.
And you're already paying rent. and
Exactly. Rent is due.
Rent is due,
Rent
yeah.
is due. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let's go. Let's open. And that turned into maybe just using the front room into actually doing the whole store.
Yeah.
And so we ordered as much product as we could real fast, which was
Yeah.
nothing.
It's so funny
It's
looking
like
back.
2 cases of poppy soda.
Yeah, like a case, like it was like barely.
You're
any
like,
case
we're
in the
ready.
store. Yeah, but we were advertising the Monsoon Mini Market one night only. And then the night happened and we got there. And first of all, it was the best idea because it was such a warm introduction to this community that we had just joined, you know?
That is really cool.
It was
yeah.
like this really cool vintage shop next door was hosting this indie band that has like this mega local following, and they were in here shopping for like drinks and stuff beforehand. And I remember Michelle and me were like, "That's the band. They're so cool. Like, I can't believe that like we get to be around like
Yeah.
you know, people like this like on an average day. You
That
know,
is really cool.
And it was just us working, so we took turns walking over there and like checking out the concert. And there was just these blue twinkly lights and this shoegaze music that was just rough and on the patio. Just tons of people, and we just had these separate experiences, but like very in one, you know, like it just felt like magic. And we were like, this is it, you know? And we didn't open for just one night. We've been open like every day since then.
Yeah. It's like, well, now we have a bunch of products. So we're like, low key, we're just going to be open for a while.
We were on Instagram and a lot of our friends and family were like, what? You guys open tonight? Like, I live in Mesa. I couldn't make it over or whatever. And then so the next day we were like, on Instagram, we might be here 12 to 5. Like we were so like vague about if we were here or not.
We were just setting up, you know?
Yeah.
We're continually here. We're
So,
working
like,
on it.
You guys didn't really want like expectations. You're like, we might be here.
We were
we're still working on stuff.
We were genuinely just really afraid of the city. Like at
Got
your
you.
first business, you're thinking they're just gonna like show up and like shut you down and fine you because you didn't get your final piece of paper.
like a
They don't
secret
care.
shopper or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got way better things to do.
There's not a roller coaster here. Like this, you know, like there's nothing crazy happening. Like people can come in and buy a candle.
Yeah.
And we got our paperwork and it was fine. But we were just like really paranoid about it, and we didn't want to jeopardize our new thing.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's like a movie. Low key, you know, like
Yeah.
you guys randomly open and then you're just sitting there watching all this going on and you're like, wow, you're officially a part of the community.
Yeah.
That's like perfect.
That's like we just started showing up every day. You know, it was like we had this place and then we just came here every day and the rest just kind of happened.
Wow. I like you guys, I don't know if you guys still use this like tagline, but you have said before making the market your muse. And I just really feel like that's exactly what this is, because you can do so many things here, like how we're shooting a podcast right now, or you can have a photo shoot here. And we were talking, you guys even rent it out to do different things. Talk about some things that have been done in here.
So many.
We laugh just because it's a broad spectrum. Yeah.
And yeah, well, you can maybe get some regular ones and then go to the
Yes, we film our
to the highlight.
podcast.
We do. This is our set, for Two Valley Girls.
Yes, we are borrowing the Two Valley Girls
Yeah,
set.
we're happy it's getting some love right now.
This space is also available for rental on Peer Space,
Yes.
which is like a photo rental or video rental website. And so people have done music videos in here, engagement shoots.
Wow.
We've also had some.
We had like horror movie.
A horror movie?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like short films. There's some adult content that people might see on Twitter and be like, that looks familiar.
Like OF adjacent.
Adjacent.
Yeah,
Wow,
like
yeah.
Clickbait.
we're here for all of it. You know, like we're a fun space. We want it to be like open for interpretation, you know, like this. You asked, what is Monsoon Market? Like, how would you describe it? And we kind of don't want it to be easy to describe. Like, we want it to kind of be a mouthful and like a lot of things. And people be like, think of us in reference to anything, you know, like we hope everything reminds you of us. Like, you know, I think it's like fun to just to leave it open-ended. Like Monsoon Market could be anything. And we said that when we were dreaming up the business plan, because we were like, oh, hey, if the market thing doesn't work, like the whole food and beverage market, we can just turn it into something else. It could be a coffee shop. It could be a clothing brand.
And that's probably what the Monsoon World is, right? Because you guys also have an Instagram that's, I believe, Monsoon World, right?
Yeah.
And that's just like probably all of that.
Yep. It houses everything.
Yeah.
It's our universe.
It's the world. Yeah. That's
it does feel like we're on
cool.
another planet.
Yeah. Talk to me also about like when you're curating for this place, not only just like the furniture stuff, but like the snacks, the sprays, the everything. Like how much different was it then and then now? Because I'm sure at first you guys were probably hitting people up and they're like, what is this space? I don't think I want to be in there. To now it's probably like, hey, can we be in your space?
Yeah.
You know, it's probably completely different. Talk about that.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
I mean, we were cold writing emails in the beginning, trying to describe what this idea would look like. You know, we didn't have anything to show. And some of the bigger brands were like, no, you have to wait. Like, send us pictures when you're up and running.
Yeah.
But
Was there any big ones that came back around?
I think, was it Gia?
It was maybe one of the beverage brands that was like waiting. It was probably Gia or Ken even. But I think it was one that was funny, was like, it was a candle brand. I forget.
No, it wasn't
Maybe
D-Lo.
it was Boy Smells or something like that. And we like hit them up, really excited because we had locked in a bunch of other cool brands, and they were like turned us down. And then like later on ended up like hitting us up, being like,
we want to get in
we'd love
there.
to like wholesale in your store, you know? And it's always funny when that happens.
Yeah.
Like,
So how do you guys go about it now? Like, is it like kind of who's here is locked in, or like how does it work?
yeah, we have some brands that have been with us since day one.
Really?
Like truly. And I'm trying to think like of who the best example of that is.
Kin?
Maybe, Kin since day one for
Because
sure.
Kin was a huge driver. You know, the like euphoric beverages. We were the only place you could get them for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And people were coming in, just for that, like crazy. And then all of a sudden they got picked up, you know, and they've gotten into bigger retailers, which is great for them. But we still have it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Totally. Yeah, we've introduced a lot of new brands, but like we try to really like reward those partnerships that really align with us. Like if we can make a big impact by supporting like, you know, a few brands like really like tried and true, like we want to do that versus spread ourselves super, super thin.
Yeah.
Because I think that's also like the negative part of curation sometimes is like when a store doesn't really have their core things and they're just always going to what's new and what's exciting.
At that point, it's not that word curate gets thrown around so easily.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's not curated anymore. It's just you getting what
on
everything will
trend.
sell. Yeah, and what's on trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
it's
try
not
to like
curated.
really have a personal like taste at
Yeah.
the market of like what works for us and like know why it works, you know? Like we get a lot of inquiries for brands that we maybe would like love to sell or we really like, but it just doesn't align with like what we're doing. Like,
That makes
you know,
sense.
it has to fit or like the community has to want it and we have to really love it. Truly.
Yeah.
We try
And
everything.
obviously they don't have to be local, right? Because you have a lot of stuff that's not local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big thing with that like Phoenix and beyond tagline that I think we
Gotcha.
also have adopted with the Monsoon world is like this place is for Phoenix, but we want it to exist beyond that. Like we want people to know about Monsoon Market and to like, you know, we want for it to be like a beloved place by anyone who visits here, not just by Phoenix people, but it is kind of gate kept for Phoenix. Like it's an
Yeah.
only IRL experience.
That's so fire because you guys would probably kill it online. But the fact that you
Yes.
just keep it like you have to come here
Yeah.
and check it out, you know,
about
that's different. I feel like most businesses are going online. It's just easier. There's no overhead or less overhead. You know, this is not cheap to do something like this.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's obviously working for you guys. What's some of the newest brands that are in here? I know the number one now is over there is the Bad Hombre. Shout out to Sam and Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where you can only get a hot Bad Hombres burrito here.
Yeah,
at Strip Mall. Yeah.
They're so fire.
That's
too.
kind of crazy.
Yeah. And keep your eye out in your own community, right? Like we were just with Strip Mall, we were looking around and like seeing like what feels right. And a bean and cheese burrito or burrito in general has always been like this thing where like coffee shop burrito, like, you know, just like bean and cheese burrito.
Yeah.
And so we aligned with them before we opened and like day one, we had those burritos hot and ready.
Wow.
That partnership has been like so key for us.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I couldn't believe that they did that because they are so hard on like, no, you have to buy them frozen. So the fact
Yeah.
that you guys could come here and like get one, that's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Yeah, shout out to Sam and Hank. That's dope that you guys have. How do you guys heat them up?
Air fryer.
Air fryer?
That's the way to go.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Get a
I
little
do the
crispy.
oven. I do
That's a good.
thaw in the microwave and then oven because it gets crispier. I think
Wow.
I left it in the air fryer too long once, and that
Oh,
kind of threw off
To
my.
dry it out.
Yes.
You
that'll
gotta
happen.
pre-defrost those bad boys too.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
defrost them for 2 days, and then
So you guys have like
so
a
if we have
Whole
science down.
process.
I've got a rotating 48
That's
burritos
fire.
that come in every Saturday. 2 bags go to the fridge for defrost. Yeah, so why they're so ready. It's why
Well,
they're
that's
so good at Strip
crazy.
Mall.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we're doing them right. Those burritos are so good. So it's like we want them to be, you know, top quality when you get them from the coffee shop because we got to live up to their reputation.
That is true,
Yeah.
yeah. Because people are going there, probably heard about it, and they're like, "Let me go try this for the first time." And it's
Exactly.
all on you guys to cook it right.
Exactly.
Yeah, truly.
And then
Pressure.
then you can take one home to go. I've already got it defrosted for you.
Dang,
Yeah,
that
heat
is
it up
true.
later.
That's
And
fire.
a shout out another brand that we just brought in that was a really fun story is Chestnut Sports Club, which is a
Yes.
beer that we just introduced into the fridge. And what's fun about this is we met the founder, Adam, over a year ago, what, maybe almost two now. And he hit us up, was like, hey, I have this brand. I'm working on launching this beer. I would love to get some customer feedback. Like, could I do a tasting in your store? And also when this launches, I would love to be sold here. And we liked it ourselves. And we were like, yeah, for sure. So he did this really awesome tasting event in the market. Great
Wow.
feedback. He was still in development though. And we're like, call us when you're ready. And then we just heard from him like a month ago and he had like, you know, finished product and had a distributor locked in. And now we sell the Chestnut Sports Club beers. It's a low ABV, like citrus lager, and it's so good. And to see that he like made it over the finish line and launched is like awesome.
Wow, what made you guys believe in it? Just because you liked it?
It was
You
a good,
know.
yeah, good product,
Wow,
good
that's
person.
so dope. Yeah, that's inspiring. Someone just came in here. You guys let them do their own testing and taste testing. That's
That
so
happens
cool.
honestly a lot. Like I'm not opening up.
I know.
floodgates.
I didn't want to say that part.
We're not here a lot, okay? You won't catch us here every day anymore.
That's what I was trying not to say. That's why I was like, it's cool that you guys.
But we love, even if you email us, which is the way to go, we're going to ask you to come here. Like, I'm going to ask you to come down to the coffee shop. Like, you hit us up. And I was like, hey, we're not even going to chat in DMs. Like, just come to
Yes.
the coffee shop, you
And
know?
I love that,
And you were
yeah.
like, down. And like, that's how we work. Of course, it's not always going to be the case if you're not in Phoenix. It's less likely though that we're going to collab with a business or a company on something local if they're not local, you know? And yeah, if you are, we're always going to ask you to come down. We always want to try the product. Even if you're not here, you're going to ship it, a sample, you know, and that's just the way we do business, man.
Do you guys have like any dream brands that you would have loved to have in here?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
It's a good question.
Nobody really asked that.
Dream brands.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be Boy Smells. Like that was
You
That
know,
was in early days, but I can't think of
dream
anything now.
brands.
It probably was a wine that you want to carry.
I was thinking like maybe some wines. I feel like wine is hard because it's like Arizona's losing more and more distribution buying power because like if your city doesn't really fuck with wine, right? The restaurants don't really like care to put together menus. Like they keep the same shit on their menu all year.
They need you to sell it.
Yeah. I would
restaurant.
love to have the time to go banging on every restaurant store being like, this is why having a good, thoughtful wine list matters and why you shouldn't be trying to be lazy on your wine program is because, you know, it's hurting the rest of us. Like now I'm losing the ability to buy really dope labels because none of my fellow other wine buyers in the area are, you know, being experimental or trying to like bring in new shit. Like they're just kind of complacent. And I think that that's part of why we do what we do is to push Phoenix out of just being complacent with like this reputation that we have that we're like not cultured and, you know, unstylish. Like, yeah, we are.
Dude, yes. That's what I told you guys this when we met too, is like, you guys are so perfect for this podcast because you guys don't seem like you're from here, but you guys push it so hard. I believe you're not originally, right?
I'm a native.
You're the native and you're not originally.
Yeah.
I remember one of you, but basically you guys are both here. But the way you guys push it is like different because so many people out here, you know, they reach this level of, you know, fame or like, they have customer, whatever it is that their business is, but they don't really push that they're from Arizona or Phoenix. They'll let it, you know, maybe if you ask them, they'll say from Arizona, but if you don't ask them, you don't know. But with you guys, there's no way around it. You guys are like constantly bringing up Phoenix. I know that you guys go out of town and do different like events and stuff, and you guys are like the Phoenix, Arizona people there. So like not a lot of people do that. Talk about, you know, why do you guys do that so much? Because you guys could really be, I don't know, just act like you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's easier to not.
I guess.
I think
you know what I'm saying?
No, I
like,
do get what you're saying. That could never, I think, be us.
Yes.
But like we witness it with other people for sure too, you know? Like, yeah, when I'm in New York, I'm like, yeah, I'm from Phoenix. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm eating at your restaurant. And I'm ordering this bottle of wine and I'm like fucking with your food like that, you know? And I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, you know? Yeah. I want people to know that Phoenix is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came from those trips, I think. Like, I think here we were learning to put people onto stuff, right? We were like, okay, Phoenix needs us to show them, like, there's cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then we started going to these snack events in LA and New York every year. And the first year, people were like, wait, Phoenix? Like, Phoenix is cool. And it was our reaction, like, defensively to be like, fuck yeah, Phoenix is cool. Like, it's a major city. Like,
so true.
You know, in New York, they're like, you guys ride horses out there? I'm like, I mean, yeah, but no. Like, no. Like it's a metropolis.
Yeah, they're like Scottsdale. That's like the first thing everyone brings
up. And so,
up.
You know, we just inherently were like, no, Phoenix is so
and
cool.
And that's why I say like it's easier to not, because it's easier to be like, yeah, no, we don't.
If you stay in your bubble too, I think that's helpful that we get out. And like that's the thing we talk about with Phoenix is it's cool now too because our age group has gone out and explored other shit and come back too.
That is very
like
true.
A lot of the natives, like we've gone and like, you know, either gone to college or after and seen and taken in other inspo and then come back and dialed into what is important here and what do we actually love about Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like I didn't love growing up here until I left and came back.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, sick. Like there's all of this here and it's up to us to make it cooler and show people that.
Just highlight it.
So yeah, it's not like within us to not do that anymore.
Yeah, that's such a great thing. Cause I was the same way. Growing up here is like you and all your friends are like, this place sucks. When we get older, we're getting the fuck out of here. Like I can't wait until I move to wherever, you know? But as you get older, then you just see like, no, we have something crazy here. Like you literally can spend your money with your Phoenix people if you do it correctly. Like everyone has, a lot of people own businesses out here. A lot of different places are like ran by corporations. And out here, and especially in Phoenix, like we have real business owners here. And it's really cool that you guys are those people too. Yeah, and you guys are not I don't even know how to explain it. I keep saying it, but you guys are not typical like business people, but you guys are like killing it. Like if you guys have like a corporate thing behind you, it's so cool.
2 LLCs.
Yeah, we have an LLC. I mean, yeah, I think it's funny because me and Michelle, like a lot of people don't, I think, take us seriously, you know, because
I could see that.
Yeah, because we have too much fun for people to think that we're that serious, you know, about our business, because I think people think that you have to choose one. Like you hear this, you see it happen in a lot of business owners too, where it's like they open this business and then they're chained to this business and they're overworked, they're exhausted, they aren't taking care of themselves because they're giving everything they have to this business that they just created. And then it's like this heavy thing that hangs over them.
And it's not fun anymore.
And then for some reason, those people though are like taken more seriously, you know, like we look to them, we're like, they must be really about their business.
They're all
because
sad.
look how depressed they are. Like they must be doing something else, right? So like it has to be a trade-off. Why, you know? And I think with me and Michelle, we've just created this workflow that works for us and our business. Like we didn't go into a business and create a business that we wouldn't be good at. You know, like I'm not good at coding or like running an online store or like we intentionally maybe avoided some things that people would be like, oh, well, you're a store, you should have an online business. It's like, well, we're probably not going to be very good at that, so we don't want to do that.
Gotcha.
You know, like maybe we'll arrive there and our business will develop there. But I think that there is also like maybe an art to building your business in a way that like is actually going to work for you. Like no matter what, business is going to challenge you. You're going to have to do things that you're not good at and that you don't like. But you also can avoid some of them, you know?
Yeah, that's a good takeaway because I mean, yeah, like I was saying in the beginning is like that creative, cool doesn't usually match with a business. It's like you get one or the other. It's so hard to find that balance because you're like, I just want to do cool stuff, you know? I don't want to like worry about taxes or like
then hire a tax person. You know, like that's the best advice. Just hire someone for that, you know?
What are your guys' inspirations these days? Just people, places, anything.
People,
because I know you guys are constantly inspiring people and probably seeing inspiration.
Yeah, I think since opening the doors here and then also in the coffee shop too, it's just inviting people in all day. And people, like you said, they have lots of ideas. And this community is just full and like really active right now. So I don't even feel like I need to step out too much because there's so much here that we can't even wrap our arms around it. You know, our programming at the coffee shop is happening constantly because people have cool ideas and they want to do stuff. So yeah, the Phoenix community right now, especially going into fall, is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, and other business owners in Phoenix, you know, also really inspire us and have since we started Monsoon and even before with Michela's personal entrepreneur journey, you know, people like Julia from Peixoto and Lauren from Local Nomad and Lindsay of All Yvonne's and Satellite and Grace Perry of Gracie's in Contact, you know, these are all women who have really inspired us as leaders, as businesswomen, as people who are strong in their stance and like they're for their city and they're doing it how they want to do it while also being very like receptive of Phoenix. I think they just,
the community.
Yeah. Those are people that come to mind that I feel very like grateful to be within close proximity to them.
Yeah. As far as, one of my last questions I was going to ask you, and I know you guys hate this question, but it's kind of different now. But I know one of you guys had mentioned one of your questions that you hate the most is people always ask, are you going to open up a second location?
No. Yeah, that was.
But technically.
I mean, throwback, right, to our own podcast episode where we're always, look at me eating my words. No, but like
It's not.
it's not, it's not a second location.
It's a Two Valley Girls
It's
LLC.
an expansion,
Okay, I
this is a new development of what we're doing. I mean, it's not a second. I think I still stand by my fact of like, people were like, Monsoon Market, Gilbert, Monsoon Market, LA, like whatever. And it's Gilbert in LA. Like, those are my two examples. I'm like, no. That was my spectrum of like, no and absolutely no. But it's like, we are still for the same location. Our coffee shop has the same address as Monsoon Market.
True.
Literally different suite number. That is it. This is the same location. We're doubling down. We really, really care about creating an ecosystem that fuels people in person and a place where we can like swirl and see our physical energy. And, now we've just created this little vortex, and like, if you come, you might not ever get out.
Yeah. Yeah. This is definitely, I'm wondering if this is going to be Monsoon World strip mall period. Like, you're gonna own every single spot here with something else. I could see that happening.
Yeah,
they're like plotting,
manifest
waiting
that.
for Allstate to leave first, and
honestly,
taking that spot.
We've got some great local businesses in this plaza. Like,
I was gonna say your neighbors.
Here.
Oh yeah, we love our neighbors. Wings Vintage on one side, Groundwork on the other.
Claude & Co. across the parking lot.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks here is the parking.
The parking is
tough. Terrible.
Sketch,
for sure. It's, it's just, again, Phoenix changing its habits. Like, you don't go to a lot of neighborhoods in other major cities and expect a parking lot right in front of your favorite store in the universe.
That's true.
Like, you might have to park in the neighborhood and walk around the corner because it's just so poppin',
That is very true.
But I will say, like, if you're in the parking lot parked, you might as well go to Wang's, you might as well go to Strip Mall, you might as well go to Monsoon Market, and why not take a workout class too?
Yeah.
You're already parking,
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that doesn't typically happen in Arizona, is like when these like strip mall things like this, a lot of the businesses close down and now you go for one specific thing. So there's not too many spots where you can go and hit 4 or 5 different stores that are kind of, the same vibe a little bit. That's I feel like that's definitely more of like an out of town thing. You guys are definitely starting something over here. So maybe more businesses can kind of link together and do that in the future. I think that would work.
Open businesses next to your friends' businesses. Like, truly band together, organize in numbers, and take over space, and really, like, space is important. Like, standing next to somebody is impactful, and so Groundwork, we've known those guys also since we worked at Dutch Bros over 10 years ago.
Wow, are you serious?
I swear, yeah.
That's crazy.
And they walked in our door one day. We're like, what are you doing here? And they're like, this is where your guys' store is? We're like, yeah. They're like, we're looking for a space for a gym. We saw the space next door is open. And we were like, done deal.
Do it.
Locking in. And it was like the best for all of us.
We kind of like recommended them to the property management. We're like, yeah, of course, take them. And they moved in suite 1, now they're in another suite also. Yeah,
they expanded as well, like grew their business, expanded right next door within their first year. And like, the strip mall's got some space, it's cozy in a strip mall.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I love it. My last question that we always like to ask is, why do you do what you do? And there's 2 of you, so you guys could each take your turn. But I mean, you guys, I just can't stop thinking about how you guys are killing it. Like, you guys are, I barely know you guys, but I want to say I'm extremely proud of you guys. You guys are like really killing it and inspiring me to be able to do these things. But talk a little bit about what is the why behind what you guys do.
You want to go first?
No, if you're ready, go ahead.
I mean, thank you for saying that. That really means a lot. I think that, of course, it's really hard to be a business owner. And there's some days you're like, what? This is way harder than working for somebody else, So for you to think that we're killing it and to give us props, like, really means a lot, because it makes the load easier. I think that why I do what I do is because, like, I depend on it, like, it makes me the best version of myself. And maybe that's a selfish way to look at it. But I think that, like, my life is much more full and beautiful if, I'm here in a community like this and I can see how the impact of it affects those around me. I'm a real big, like tangible. I love to see when something helps someone in the direction that they're going, you know? So it just makes me really happy to like be in a place like this. So I depend on it. And I know other people do too.
That's fire. How about you?
Good answer.
No, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, also thank you. It's
of course.
Definitely kind of lightens the load to hear that it is working other than just like a sustainable business. You know, it's doing the bigger things,
Yeah,
which
it's impacting.
you know, that's kind of more to both of us. I think, yes, I depend on it to pay my bills, you know, in that way. And creating jobs for people is one of my favorite things that we're doing as business owners. But I think it's like having that, you know, kind of a purpose, even though it sounds cheesy, of all we have is time. And I've gotten really like locked in on that every year as I get older and older. I'm like, all I have is time. And I know I don't want to like make a bunch of money in this life. I want to make enough money to, you know, go to Valentine and have a nice dinner every once in a while. But like, that's it. So if all I have is time, how am I spending it? And I want to spend it doing something I love and something that means something. So that's why I do what I do.
Wow, you just gave me goosebumps. That's fire. Let's cheers. Let's cheers. Finish our little bit of wine here. Thank you guys for having us in here. I appreciate it. Yeah, let me take a sip of this. But yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We are on the road to I keep hitting your knee every time I go, but we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And we need another episode of the Two Valley Girls LLC podcast ASAP. Go ahead and shout out anything that you guys have coming up, your guys' Instagram, location, everything.
You can come visit us IRL at 7th Street in Osborne here in Central Phoenix. Both Monsoon Market and Strip Mall. We're open every single day. Every weekend we have something going on. Check our socials, Instagram at Monsoon MRKT, at Strip Mall PHX.
Yep.
That's it.
That's what's up.
Come see us. Come hang.
And just like that, we're out. Peace.